Hey, howdy, hey YouTube, this is Jane Speaks, and today I'm going to be doing Was This Any Good? Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Battlefield Earth. John Travolta stars in this movie as the bad guy named Turl, a Cyclo, which is kind of like a Klingon from Star Trek character. They're 3 feet taller than normal humans, have a oblong-shaped head, very long dreadlocks, speak a completely different masculine, lore-sounding language, and don't breathe the same air as humans. So, the year is Earth. Well, the planet is Earth, and the year is 3000. Apparently, several thousand years ago, or 1,000 years ago, according to John Travolta's character, the Cyclos found Earth and found out that there was gold that needed to be mined. So they took down Earth's entire security force in less than half an hour and have been mining the gold on Earth for the last 1,000 years. They have a dome on Earth that is their home base, and inside they can breathe perfectly fine, but apparently we can't. So if they exit, they need a breathalyzer. If we enter, we need a breathalyzer. Humans are an endangered species. They live in pockets around the world, and none of them know that the others exist. When one guy decides his name, he is played by Barry Pepper, character's name Johnny, decides that that's not good enough and that he's going to try and get rid of them. So, with a group of him and his loyal companions, they take down the Cyclos and save the world. Not gonna tell you how it ends though, 'cause it's pretty darn cool. Well, I kinda did, but I'm not giving you details. So, yeah, overall, it's okay. The plot is a bit thin, but I'll talk about it. So, Johnny, is living in a tribe. They never give locations where on Earth this is. I think they want to leave you in a bit of mystery, but there's a couple of clues to locations, like famous pictures and stuff. They do give you a couple of names. Apparently Johnny and his family and his tribe live somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. It's definitely a lot drier where they are. I just know there's a lot of rocks, and they ride horses. Apparently the entire human race has been reduced to living in a lifestyle more like the American Indians, and I mean the entire of Earth. The Cyclos find men savage and call them man animals. They don't give us a specific name or humans or savages. They just call us man animals. Don't know why. Apparently dogs are easier to train than we are in harvesting the lovely gold that the Cyclos are trying to find. So, Johnny gets captured by the Cyclos at some point, and they decide to educate him. So they pump, and I literally mean they pump his brain full of information. It's kind of disgusting because he kind of gets addicted to it. He's like, I have to know more after they give him like 10 minutes, and yeah. So they pump him full of information, and suddenly he is able to know like quantum physics and mathematics and geometry and English in every form, and then he's able to know a bunch of other languages that probably don't exist anymore that were from Earth, and he knows how to speak to the Cyclos. So then he finds out that the general is planning something sneaky about mining the gold, and he's like, you know what, this is going to be our only chance to save Earth. So that's pretty cool. I will say the special effects are fairly impressive for being a poorly produced movie. They have a dome, apparently, that the Cyclos live under that's on Earth and filters their air so they can breathe under this dome, because they can't breathe what Earth has to give us. So, yeah, that's a very impressive. The masterfulness of how they did this. The sets are impeccable. There's a room full of cages where they keep the man animals, and they seem particularly real. I just know the clang of metal happens. The goo they feed humans seems particularly disgusting, so that's impressive. Props to the goo makers. because there's a lot of it. I mean, they pump it into barrels that humans are supposed to eat. It's disgusting. Costumes are impressive. Definitely very leather-y, or made out of skins of animals. It's fairly impressive. If they ever wore wigs in this movie, I'm not quite sure. I didn't look out much into it. But they seems fairly real. Johnny treats his hair like it's real. He gets tugged on a couple times, which is irritating. I wish he would just cut it. Explosions, definitely impressive. Flames look real. Big, very big. They fly a lot of planes, and that is definitely cool. There is one hole in the plot. John Travolta's character, or Turl, I don't know how to pronounce it. They do it better than I do. Says that the Cyclones took down all of Earth's security in half an hour. Or 20 minutes or something. It was something fairly small. It was not a very large amount of time. And so Johnny decides that he's going to round up all these guys and try to take down the Cyclones, like once and for all, just to get rid of them, get them off, or stuff like that. So they decide to use some of Earth's older technology. Well, they find it, and they use, and I mean, this is like airplanes that are nowadays, so they use a bunch of airplanes, they use a nuclear bomb. That's really impressive, because he apparently knows nuclear physics as well, which is impressive for being pumped full of it, like information in less than an hour and a half. So yeah, he knows how to do that. He knows how to defuse a bomb. He knows how to arm a bomb. He knows how to load explosives. He knows how to do all this crazy stuff. And so they figure out this very detailed planned attack in different locations and all this stuff, and it takes about 45 minutes for the fight to happen, and they still defeat the Cyclones. So I'm kind of like, huh? Okay, I guess he said it took them a half an hour to defeat Earth in the first place, and it takes them 45 minutes, and they don't even win. I mean, the Cyclones don't win. Bad things happen to them. But that's one of the things I was like, okay, maybe that makes sense. Maybe that should make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, that happens. The makeup, whoever did makeup was very impressive. It was a little weird because John Travolta's character, and I think they did this just to make him recognizable and to be like, oh yeah, that's John Travolta. This is probably a good movie because he's in this movie. Since I don't like Klingons, they've got some facial tissue that's a little more funky, not as smooth as ours. Their eyebrows are very pointy up in this general area, and everybody's are, and they just kind of keep going into their hairline, which John Travolta's character does, but the rest of the Cyclones have a lot of facial tissue that's different, but John Travolta's face is completely smooth with the eyebrows, so it's like, oh, you're obviously making this recognizable to be John Travolta, but he doesn't look like the rest of the Cyclones, so I'm thinking something went wrong here. Like, he was an illegitimate child or something, or whatever, yeah. So, not only does John Travolta's character Turl have anger issues against humans because they're man animals, but he doesn't get transferred to his home planet like he wanted because apparently this mission was supposed to be a temporary mission, and it's not so temporary. They're leaving, his superiors want to leave him on the planet for another 50 years, so he gets really, really upset with his underdogs and the humans. So when things go south for him, he's not exactly too pleased about it. They do capture him. His character does not die, which I didn't like at first, but then their reasons for doing so, it was pretty cool. Also, one thing that I didn't know about, I can't remember if it's Fort Kennedy or Fort Knox, some sort of really big place that has nuclear bombs. Apparently, underneath it, there's like rooms and rooms and rooms. I mean, like Warehouse 13 kind of rooms with gold in them, and I'm talking gold bars. Like, this is as far as the eye can see, gold bars, and they put him right in the middle of it, and I didn't understand that. I don't know if there are gold bars in Fort Knox or Fort Kennedy, whichever one it is, But I don't think I believe that. I think that was just part of the story they were trying to tell us. Plus, I was kind of like, why didn't the Cyclos scan the Earth to find bigger supplies of gold? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. So, overall, the movie was pretty good. I laughed a couple times, didn't cry that much, was pretty emotional at parts, stressed me out a little, but overall, a pretty good movie for only having a couple stars in it. So I would say if you're interested in in science fiction and you want to pass some time over the weekend, good movie to watch. Thank you so much for watching. Click a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.